welcome back. We did get some snow. Felt like a long time coming, but yes, a little sprinkling of snow arrived last night, and I thought this morning we just had to get outside. We're out for just a very brisk, because it's freezing, cold and beautiful morning walk, and then it is a cosy day at home. Have you had any snow yet in your corner of the world? England have experienced more snow over this last few weeks than for a very, very long time. I believe that some people have literally been snowed in. It's all over the news. It's very exciting, but we don't have too much here, unfortunately. I wish we had a bit more, but there is definitely some underfoot. Let's enjoy this walk that we're having. Some lovely dogs in front. Oh, they're absolutely loving it.
See you soon. Bye.
Hopefully a lot of the children will be able to enjoy the snow today without going to school. A lot of children are off today and back tomorrow in this area, but some children have gone back. They've gone back this morning. It's quite early. It's about 9:30 at the moment. Temperature is -1, and it really does feel like that too. Sunshine is trying to creep up this morning. Oh, this weather makes me feel so happy. Not even done my hair yet. I just had to get outside. How do you feel about the weather? It's one of those things, isn't it, that's always nice when you've not got anywhere to be. Wow. It's just, why is everywhere just so beautiful when, wow. Everywhere is just so beautiful when it's sprinkled with snow. You can hear the birds out this morning. You can see how cold it is with the breath that's coming out of my mouth. This is the lane that is near us, and there's a lot of older houses down here. I'm just looking around. It's just so beautiful. Going on that cottage, all that thatched, looks like it's coming down. This is our apple orchard. It's a community apple orchard. The trees are completely bare. I've always loved that cottage. This is within the apple orchard. That one has a thatched roof as well. One of the questions I keep getting asked is, does our cottage have a thatched roof? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a thatched roof. The roof of our cottage is concrete tiles. There's a lot of moss on the top of the roof. There is an archive on the cottage which we can access, and I'll hopefully be able to share that with you, from the Heritage Foundation, but we do need to be the home owners for that. Well, I want to know as much information as possible about the home, of course I do. So once we're homeowners, we will be able to access this archive, hopefully, and there'll be some more information about the cottage itself. Wow, that sunshine behind is going to be an absolutely stunning winter's day today. I think I've mentioned before that the home is not listed, but the other ones around it are, but there is no evidence anywhere that the cottage was ever listed. So that will be interesting to find out more about. And also I just want to know about the history of the people that have lived there. I know that may sound strange to some, but this is going to be our forever home, hopefully. We can't see ourselves ever moving again. I didn't realise how stressful moving was going to be, and it is quite stressful. We've got a lot of excitement ahead, but also a lot of stress, and it's all going to take a lot of time. But it is lovely walking down here to see some of the other cottages. Our home is not down this street, it's nowhere near here, but this is one of the older streets, older lanes. Let's carry on this cold, bitter, snowy walk. Let's get the radio on.
The wintry weather could cause disruption as many people return to school or work this morning. Amber weather warnings for snow are enforced for parts of northern Scotland, and there are yellow warnings for other parts of the UK.
I can see some footprints downstairs that lead to the hedgerow. There's some water and some bird food down there, which is just lovely. There is a cobweb across there. I am very, very clean. I don't know why the cobweb was there. Where's my coffee? Grab my coffee. Is this my third cup of the morning? It's a little bit later on now. We're in from that very cold, bitter walk. I could not feel my fingers after I'd done some of the video footage of the beautiful cottages and houses. That's the lane that's just behind this apartment. There's a beautiful walk around the greenway, and the greenway is a 13 point. Oh, I have a friend who will tell me off if I don't know this. I think it's 13.5. Steve, is that right? I know that he'll know because he does the cycle route quite often, and he'd even been along and shined up all of the numbers along the points I want to say 13.5 or 13.9. It's a beautiful walk. My sister and I try and do that several times a year. We haven't done it for a while, but it is a great one. It would be beautiful this morning, but it's also a cycle route. So that lane that we've just walked down is where we would normally get on for the Greenway walk. But as I'm sure you'll agree, those houses down there are just absolutely beautiful. It was lovely to see the workmen on the thatched roof. I can't believe how many roofs were thatched down there. I don't think I've ever really noticed that before. As you can see, the sun is glorious today. I don't know how that's affecting the light. Hopefully it's okay. We are heading into the kitchen shortly. We're going to make something super cozy for dinner tonight. So it's that first Monday back after Christmas. It's that first Monday back after Christmas. Many children have returned to school. Some haven't in this local area. I've returned to work this morning. So you know that I teach Family Fun Phonics. That's my own independent business. I'm an early years advisor and trainer, and I keep knocking something down here. Let me move it out of the way. It's something that we need to sort out later, actually, hopefully in the vlog, and I'll share that with you in a little while. I'm surrounded by things, but I'll tell you what's down here later on. I'm an early years advisor and trainer, and as part of that, I go into schools and advise, I observe early literacy, I do pre-Ofsteds, post-Ofsteds. If you're not in England, an Ofsted is the official report of a school to look at their standards. So I go in and I help to raise standards, or if they've had an Ofsted report, they being the school, if the school have received an Ofsted report and they want to move up the grading level, that's where I will go in and I will support. So originally I was the lead for one of the boroughs in London. I had a commute every day, and now I just work independently for myself, which is really nice because I'm in control of my own hours. But as part of that work, I deliver one-to-one family fun phonics sessions. The children call it Cher time. It's the name that they've called it. Oh, it's Cher time, but officially it's family fun phonics. And I went back today, and it's all done from home, so it's all over the screen. And of course, I'm just looking down because I've picked up the resources to show you what we've been up to this morning, knowing that hopefully we were going to wake up to some snow today. We have been sharing the story. You may remember this from when you were young, or you may remember this from your own childhood, as I say, or reading this to your own children. Who remembers the storybook series, Percy the Park Keeper? So this morning we were sharing a very old loved book, One Snowy Night, and the pictures in here are just incredibly dreamy. The author is Nick Butterworth. Let's have a look inside. This is such a magical book. Percy the Park Keeper books definitely have my seal of approval. And I had a family who gave me a hand-knitted Percy the Park Keeper. He's just so adorable and smiley, and children really respond very well to faces. So I thought today I was going to say share a story as a joke, but no, we're not going to share a story, although I have thought about possibly branching out and doing another YouTube channel just of early years and tips, tricks, stories, things to help young children. But as you're probably aware, I have quite a lot going on in my life at the moment. I'm not sure that it's something that I could squeeze in, but I do have lots to give and lots to share. So maybe one day. But I thought today you may like to know just a little bit more about what I do in my professional world. Most of you now have been watching the channel for some time, and it's nice to know that there's this other world outside of me recording snippets of my life. And I talk to you quite passionately, very passionately about my professional world of being an early years advisor and trainer. It's something that is very much in my heart. I love teaching. There's lots on the vlog about my career, but if you are newish here and you don't know, I have done every single role now in education. So I actually started off volunteering when I was 17. I was a teaching assistant, then an early years teacher. Then I was the lead of early years within the school. I've been an assistant head teacher. I did an acting headship, and I was asked to go and support one of the London boroughs as the lead early years advisor. And I job shared that role because at that time I was branching out by myself as well. Within that team, we had advisors for everyone. We had the childminding advisors that we were responsible for. We had the inclusion team that we were responsible for. And it was all about raising standards across the borough. But now I work for myself and I absolutely love it. I do more teaching now than I ever did when I was a teacher. The best thing about being a teacher not in school is I do not follow the government guidelines of what is happening on week 1. So we are currently now in spring term 1, and then spring term 2 is after Easter. And in schools, teachers will have a scheme of work that says spring term 1, week 1, we are going to be learning, etc., etc., etc. I do not do any of that. I have gone with the weather, which I often do. My resources are all in seasonal boxes because children respond really well to the seasons. It's what's happening around them. I had another activity planned, scrapped that because we've had snow. So why not link it in with something that the children can relate to? Anyway, sorry that I've waffled. I hope that you found that interesting, and I do completely understand if you haven't and teaching is not your area, or if you weren't interested in that. Let's go through to the kitchen. Oh, postman. Hello. Hi, come in. Hello.
Lovely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much. Bye. Something has arrived. I've got absolutely no idea what this is. What is this? It says fragile. Oh. It says fragile on it. I know what it is now. Oh. Silly me. I've ordered some bubble wrap. There was me thinking it may be something vintage arriving, like a pure wool jumper. I've ordered the most amazing pure wool jumper. I've got 2 come in, a jumper and a cardigan. I'm quite obsessed. I'll share those with you. So I thought it was going to be something very exciting, and it's bubble wrap, because today, a bit later on, we are going to start packing. This bubble wrap is definitely not going to be enough for the move. I imagined it to be a lot bigger than this, but it's a start. Standing here watching, there's some people scraping their cars, but as the cars come down the road, isn't it lovely to see when they've scraped and the windscreen wipers have just covered the area where the snow was? It looks like some people have had thicker snow than us. I would definitely say that. As you know, we were on Snow Watch last vlog. This vlog, yes, there has been some, but some places in the UK, I know some of you have messaged me, sent me photographs. Cornwall, Devon, Scotland have really had a lot of snow. where the roads are completely impassable. Really thick snow. I mean, I said earlier, it's made the news. Everybody is talking about it. And England are just not prepared for snow. We're not prepared for high heat, and we're not prepared for snow. And we are definitely a nation that talk about the weather a lot. I mean, I know that I do. It's something that I do. I have a slow and seasonal vlog. So weather really is the main thread of the vlog. So when it is something exciting, like, are we going to get snow? It creates this hype for me because I just love the weather. It excites me so much so that I spoke to my sister earlier on this morning. I mean, we literally speak all the time. And Jane said that she noticed that the snow had started coming in the night. And she said, I was so close to messaging you to let you know, because I am always on weather watch. I have to have the candle lit every day. You'll know my very special candle that has been lit during the process of buying the cottage. Such a symbol for me, really. It gives me time to talk to my mum and to GB's mum. We're in the kitchen today because I'm going to make a very hearty, warm dinner for tonight. GB has gone back to the office. So he's back. Like lots of children have gone back to school. I've been back to work this morning. He's now back in the office, and I wanted just to make something really delicious for when he gets in tonight. Let me talk to you about that whilst I'm repotting my herbs. I've done a food shop. We've got parsley, which I'll need for the dinner, rosemary, and then some thyme as well. So tonight's dish is going to be fish pie, because it's just such an easy warming dish. Today I'm going to try something slightly different with it though, and that is not having the mashed potato on the top, but instead going for a sweet potato topping, as well as I've got two new ingredients to try. So it's a little bit dry. I've got two new ingredients to try today within the fish pie. We're going to try and incorporate some stock as well as paprika. So I've had these two tips from a fish pie fanatic who often makes fish pie, and she said, just trust the process and give it a go. So that is the job for today. Apparently the paprika will just help to give the sweet potato a really warming, cozy dish, a really warm, cozy vibe. I think I'm trying to say, I'm a bit lost with my words. I've been talking a lot, as you probably know. This thyme smells absolutely beautiful. I always think that having herbs in the kitchen is just such a great way to bring the outside in. It's cheap, something that you can use in your recipes or even to garnish something. It just gives it a little bit of extra vavoom. I don't know what it gives an extra, but I think greenery just makes your dinner look, more inviting, doesn't it? I'm excited about using the new to me green stoneware oven dish today for the fish pie. Can you see the little one on the sledge going around? Shall we get cooking? Let me run through what you'll need and then we'll get started. So on my bench, I've got a lot of prawns. I like to buy these frozen, the really big, juicy prawns, and I've just made sure that they are defrosted. You'll need around 75 grams of butter. I've got a big salmon joint here. These cost between £7 and £9 depending on where you go. You'll need some cheese ready to grate. We love Davidstow cheese. get that from Tesco's, but I'm guessing other big supermarkets sell it as well. Over in this area, you'll need 1 leek and some sweet potato for the sweet potato top. In here, I've got 600 millilitres of liquid. So that's 400 millilitres of milk and 200 millilitres of stock cube with water. Stock cube is one of my new ingredients for this fish pie. Comes with recommendations just to give it a real wholesome feel. You'll also need paprika if you're going to follow this recipe. Paprika for the top, again, new ingredient. That should really help just to make the fish pie very, very warming. Bay leaf is optional. Then you'll need some plain flour to help with the roux. And then I'm going to serve mine up with salad. So we're going to have a lot of fish pie and then salad. I've got some fresh salad here, including gem lettuce. We've got some spring onion and cucumber and lots of cherry tomatoes, and just thought that would be really fresh against the warming, wholesome dish. And you'll know that there is some parsley there as well. So let's get going. I'm going to heat up the pan with some butter just to start. I don't actually measure the butter, it's just approx. I'll put the butter in just to start. I want the pan really hot. Once you've got a hot pan, it's time to put in the salmon. I like to flip mine. The sound of home cooking. And then also add in your prawns. If they're frozen, just make sure that you've removed the water from the defrost. And whilst that's doing, let's cut up the leek and also the sweet potatoes. So the leek is to go into the pan, and the sweet potato we're going to boil ready for the top. Have you been making any delicious, wholesome dishes recently? It's one of the things I love to do come the new year. Really think about the food that we're eating. For me, it's not about a New Year's resolution. For me, it's about going back to the food that we know and love throughout the year. The food that we know is good for us. We don't really eat processed food, although over the festive period, there has been times that I have, of course, because, you know, it's around us all the time. I shared with you last vlog, it's not about that food that you're eating over Christmas that matters. It's the food that you're eating between New Year and then the following Christmas. So as I said, I saw that on Instagram and I just thought it was fantastic. It's so true. So I'm just finally cutting the leek. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret here. GB doesn't like leek, but he loves fish pie. And this is a dish that I think was one of the very first dishes that I introduced him to when I started doing most of the cooking. So for the first 5 years of our relationship, GB did all of the cooking, everything. And then when we decided that I would go independent, my hours would be more flexible. I would have a lot more time around the home because of my independent advisory role. I can pick and choose when I'm working. I said I would like to take over the meals, and this is one of the first dishes that I introduced him to. But he loves fish pie and doesn't like leek. He doesn't actually know that leek is in the fish pie. Right, let's get that into the pan. This smells so good. Now we're going to add in the 600 millilitres of liquid. So I used to do 600 milk. Now it's 400 milk. Well, today I'm trying it. 400 milk and then 200 stock cube with water. And then once all of this is in, we need this cooking, sort of stewing away for around 30 minutes, I would say, on low. Right, so we'll leave that on for about 30 minutes, like I said, well, 20 to 30, just keep an eye, you'll know when it's done. I tend to not be too strict, as long as the fish is cooked. Some people like to add the prawns in right at the end so that they're more tender. For me, I don't, but you may wish to. I think if you're going to do a fish pie following any recipe in a recipe book, it would probably say put the prawns in last because they don't take as long. Let's cover that with the guard and grab some sweet potato. I think I did start cutting up some sweet potato last night, remembering that I was going to vlog today, and I thought, why don't I share this recipe with you? So I did cut up one sweet potato. These sweet potatoes are quite large. I'm wondering whether we need, that's one. I am going to do the 3 just to make sure that we've got enough. So I talk about these pans all the time, pots and pans. One of the things we're not sure of is whether these are going to be suitable for the cottage. We love them. They are induction. I do need to research this. Maybe some of you are thinking, of course you can, or no, of course you can't. Maybe you'd know that already. But we think from a couple of visits that we've had over at the cottage, I think it's a gas stove. And I'm not sure if you can use induction. Time to cut up the sweet potato, and as I say, I'm going to use 3. So I do this with a sharp knife. I don't peel. This is a very sharp knife, and I'm used to doing this, so it's not like I'm wasting the sweet potato. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've actually put up some twinkly lights again. Over the weekend, I just felt like it was really bare in here, and you probably know that I love moving things around. GB says sometimes he'll start in the morning walking around the house, and then by the evening things are all in a different place. I think I grew up like that as well. My mum would be the same. We'd leave for school and your living room would look one way. By the time you got home from school, all the furniture would be in different places. Does anybody do that as well? This water started to boil now. Whilst everything's doing, I'm going to start grating up some cheese. I think I should just have a very quick look at this. What's looking good, and it smells even better. Should we put some pepper in there? Unfortunately, I've run out of salt. It's something that's been on my shopping list for this whole week, and I just keep forgetting it. I even had a food delivery yesterday and forgot to put it on there as well. A bit annoying, but I'm sure that the stock cubes have got salt in them, so it's not like I need to add salt to this mixture. How are we doing with this salmon? Is it? Yeah, it's doing really well. Okay, put that on the top. Let's grate up some cheese. So with the cheese, I again predict, I'm guessing that if you're going to have this block, I'm probably going to use half the block. I always like to put some right on the top as well. That just makes the fish pie go golden. So I just want to make sure that I've got enough for that too. And this fish pie should make 4 servings, or if you're like GB and I, a really good serving each. Turn it up slightly. Show you what this is looking like. Delicious. and smells amazing. I think it's the leek that smells so good. And honestly, GB doesn't know it's in there. He doesn't, unless he does, and he just keeps his mouth quiet. This is looking delicious. So what we need to do next is add the flour to thicken the roux. I'm going to put some cheese in here as well. Bubbling away nicely. I think where the stock cube is in here, it looks definitely more wholesome because it's not bright white where the milk is normally in there on its own. Oh, I cannot wait for dinner tonight. Whilst this is doing, I thought I'd mention to you what the plans are, hopefully this afternoon. I'm hoping to start packing this afternoon. We still don't have a date, and in fact I sent an email on Friday. I know they've only just got back into the office after Christmas and New Year, but I did send an email on Friday just for any updates. Have all the searches come back? How close are we to a date? I know that the couple that are moving in here, I've sent her, the lovely lady, a picture of the snow this morning. We've been sending each other a few messages and they would like to come round and measure up. We're going to be leaving a few things. If they want them, they don't have to have them. But if they want a few bits and pieces that don't match our style for the cottage, we're going to offer bits and pieces to them. I want this move to be very, very organised. So I thought, let's get started. So I'm going to start today with the stationery. We can move bits and pieces over to our storage unit that we have. So like an interim really between here and the cottage. And the reason for that is it's a great place for bits and pieces to be. As long as everything's labelled and we can access everything, it just means that we don't have to move with everything on the move-in day. And also although there's a garage at the cottage, having a storage block will be really useful for us because we want to get the garage shelved. GB wants a workbench in there. I will just repeat that. GB wants a workbench in the garage. And if you know him, you will know that, yes, he can do DIY, but he prefers not to. However, he has definitely said, I would like a workbench in the garage so that I can do things. And one of the projects that he would like is to make us a really chunky wooden table. That is down the line. In my mind, it's going to be like the first thing that he does, but that is way off. I mean, it's way off. I've already seen some good workbenches that are from the range, actually. So he can have a small workbench, a large workbench, whatever workbench he wants. I am just going to say yes, because to me, it's a miracle that he wants to do that. However, I have been told, and he has explained, that there are definitely things he can do. He does struggle with time and equipment and space. And obviously in this apartment, he doesn't have any of that. So that's going to be exciting. But because we don't need things in the cottage whilst we are renovating it and, you know, making it back to a beautiful home, then they might as well be in storage. This is perfectly ready. I'm hoping the sweet potatoes are soft enough to mash. I don't know. No, they are not. Let's leave that and start looking at some of the stationery bits and pieces. I will leave this on the go. I just feel that I'm going to be standing here waffling on where I could be getting a job done. So let's leave the kitchen as it is and we'll move into the main room behind you, and I'll show you where the stationery currently is and we can start sorting and packing it away, and we'll come back. Let's just pop that lid back on. What a glorious day. Can you see the snow still on the pavements, and the rooftops are still covered? That sun is glorious, isn't it? Most of our stationery lives in this drawer over here. I'll bring you up so that you can see. So stationery is in this drawer. Bit of a mess in places, but also, you know, the organisation definitely was there, but I think over Christmas it's less organised. So I've got these glass jars, which I find really useful in a drawer rather than all piled up, because when you need a pen, you can just quickly take things out that you need. I just can't believe that we are finally in the process of moving. I'll grab everything out of the drawer. I'm going to put it on the coffee table. We can look and pack, sort and pack. Got bits over in that cabinet, and then also bits behind the sofa that I've sorted out over the weekend. So let's gather it all together is probably the most sensible option. How many jars can I carry at once? You'll see some very classic signs that I'm a teacher, including the glue gun. Pens, and how many scissors does one person need? What's that? Oh yeah. Right. Just left the batteries inside because we'll probably need batteries for twinkly lights and that sort of thing. Okay, that's those. Right, that's those bits. There's bits behind the sofa. Oh my goodness, there's quite a bit. I don't know if this is all going to fit into one box. So, equipment that teachers tend to have in life: a glue gun, a guillotine, and can anyone think of the last item that most teachers own outside of school? A laminator. They are 3 items that I've had since my teaching days. I don't remember the last time I used a guillotine. If I was a teacher now, I probably wouldn't use the laminator, to be honest. I'm very much a natural, wholesome teacher that really believes in using like natural resources. So for example, if children were to have name tags, which in early years they do, years gone by, we would laminate them. And actually, you know, there are some years in nurseries that you double laminate because children are constantly pulling off their name tags. Now, I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably use something like brown cardboard that doesn't matter if it gets worn, things like that, recycled packaging, rather than adding more plastic to the world. But I feel like we're more informed these days. In our storage unit, I've started to sort out boxes and things that we can put bits and pieces in, like stationery. These boxes are fab. They're from IKEA. They're £15 each. They can be used outside, inside. They're really strong. They're heavy, and the lids just, I've had these for years, and the lids do not break or anything. This was one of my phonics boxes. It said Phase 5 games, but we're going to use this for stationery for the move. I wanted to check before I showed you how to remove the permanent marker from the box, because I've got some wording on the box there, and I also think there as well. And nail varnish remover works. So let's remove this first. Just give it a good scrub and it removes. Very good. Look, it's gone. I'll show you up here. So that said sort. I used to put things in here just to sort out. It's my like quick box. Look at that. It's gone. Absolutely gone. When GB and I first met, I've just remembered this. When we first met, I was putting on some nail varnish, and this is when we lived next door because we used to rent next door before buying here. I put this nail varnish on and I got some nail varnish onto the remote control. So I used nail varnish remover to take it off. It burnt through the plastic. So there is that danger. But if it's a box that's, you know, just for storage, it doesn't really matter, does it? We can relabel that now. Some of you may feel that this is quite organised already because I do have things already in jars. That one's empty, needs sorting. I mean, this is so me as a teacher. All my pencils are sharp. I don't very often use colouring in pencils, to be honest, unless friends, family are bringing around young children or I'm having a mindful colouring in moment. But everything is in glass jars. It does need quickly sorting out. So you're probably thinking, well, this job's not going to take very long, but I do have things like this that definitely need sorting from Christmas. This is my packaging for presents and that sort of thing. I've got some ribbons here that I want to show you what I'm going to do with. And I basically just want to pack as best I can, ready for moving. So we should just get started. I don't know where to start. I hate the starting. I'm all right once I get going. But as I said to you, I am quite scatty. So far we've got dinner on the go. And now we're going to start in here. I'll just show you inside the box in case you're interested. It's empty. Right, let's put in the guillotine and the laminator. And then that leaves room for jars. What is currently sorted? So this is GB's. Let's have a quick look. He's got highlighter pens in there. Highlighter and whiteboard pens. So I just want to be as organised as I can, really, before we move. GB loves a highlighter pen. I told him yesterday what we were planning to do today whilst I was vlogging. I said that we're going to be sorting out the stationery. He's got a whiteboard in the office. If you know him, you will know how much he loves a whiteboard. And his words to me were, please can you save a red, black, green and blue whiteboard pen and a green and a yellow fluorescent pen, because I probably will need those. I just love him so much. That shouldn't be in there. That's a knife. Biros. Yeah, that's fine. Have we got any more biros? Yeah, these should really go in here. What are these? Oh, staplers. These. If you're a teacher, you will know. Have I got the... I said about equipment being a teacher. If you're a teacher, you will know the Bambi staplers and the Bambi staples. Have I got a Bambi stapler to show you? Oh, I bet GB's got it. Oh, here! Look at that. That is a Bambi stapler. They stopped making them. I don't know if they've got them back. But these, if you open them up and you're doing a display board, these are life. Absolute life. And it was very difficult to get hold of these when I left teaching. I think most teachers up and down the land started ordering them up. I'm not joking. It's true. It's actually true. If you know, you know. Graham, if you're watching, my lovely friend Graham, who bought me my missing Bramley hedge book. I know he tends to watch on a Saturday or Sunday morning over breakfast. He'll know. He'll know about the Bambi staplers. He'll tell you all. I want to utilise the space. This tends to have, this has got all the pens in. Let's put pens in here. So this is more confused with my life. This is big pens, no more of those. These go in here. Already saved myself 2 jars by doing that. Right, that's done. First jar in the stationery box, ready for the move. I'm looking around because over here at Christmas, do you remember when we made the gingerbread garland? And I bought the white paint pens. They're here. So let's put those in with these. Then the pencil crayons. Anything that's done. Ribbon. So I've got a lot of ribbon left over. Well, Christmas and my business. I should keep some out for presents and that sort of thing over the next, month. One of the things that I really want to do when I move to the cottage is become a bit more frugal, a cottage life, frugal living. And I keep seeing these things on Instagram and on Facebook that come up to give you tips. And there is something that I want to do with tags. So start saving any tags, nice ones. They can have something on the side. Just start saving them. And then I will show you at some point, whether it be before the move, ready, so that I've got some nice things ready to move with, or once we've moved. But just start saving them. Like this one's from a charity shop. This one was Fat Face, some socks that we had in our Christmas stockings. So do start saving those, and I'll share a frugal living tip with you as soon as I possibly can. This is the ribbon left over from Christmas. You will remember that I bought this beautiful ribbon. I think this was on the wreath in the kitchen, and I've saved all of the reels. That looks better, doesn't it? That looks better. One. I think when you're moving, it's just such a good opportunity to touch everything that you own and think, is it something I actually need in my life, want in my life? That looks so nice on there. Much better than on the one bought from the shop. And I'm just reusing the wooden reels that I had at Christmas. A few more cotton reels here, a ribbon. The idea in time is that I have enough of these so that I could possibly have them on display somewhere. But another frugal tip, I always save ribbon from other people's gifts. And my sister and I quite often use the same ribbon over and over again. It goes to her house, then it comes back to my house. Are you the same? That's ribbon that can go in there. What have we got? So this is tags, more ribbon, again, probably from a gift. This looks like it may have been from a Mrs. P gift, actually. I'm going to pop that on the end there. Why not? Why not save things? Things are so expensive now, aren't they, in life? What else have we got? Random stuff. That's the trouble, isn't it? These are lovely. I use these for gift tags and things like that. I wonder if I can utilise a smaller jar. They look nice in there. Perfect. That's much better. My label maker. I forgot I had this. During the time of COVID, when we were all stuck indoors, I labelled everything. Didn't we all? Weren't we all label making during COVID? Unless we were poorly with it. We were organising our homes. And my label maker was out all the time. This brings back memories. I'm just going to get rid of stuff that we don't use. Oh, wow! I've actually got 2 more reels for the label maker. That's wonderful. Definitely keeping that for, I don't know what I would use it for, because everything is labelled these days, but I am going to keep hold of that. But I'm not going to keep hold of stuff I don't need. Tags. I will be keeping those. Let's just tip it all onto my dress. Not going to keep those. You end up just keeping stuff, don't you, for the sake of it? Now you see what I mean? Things just get disorganised, don't they, quite quickly. But if you have a way that you do store things, I just find glass jars just so good because you can easily, especially if they're in a drawer or something, you can easily take things out. This is looking good. Really, really happy that I've done this today. Just helps to get things going, doesn't it? You just need to start somewhere. And are these dry? No, they're dry, dry, dry. Yeah, dry. GB has been asking me about buttons, so I will keep those out. He has a button missing from his jacket. Command hooks, they can go into the odds and sods. I think we're nearly there, you know, so these bits are either bits that we need. Sellotape I need to keep. Let's do a jar of things to keep. Ribbon, sellotape, those gift tags, scissors, they're going, scissors, and a few pens, store them in that way. Down, there we go. That's all bin. Bin, bin. Here we go. The first move-in box is done. Oh, how exciting. I'm going to label the box now, and I have a little tip on how to spell the word stationery. Station, is it an E or an A? We know it's an E because it's for equipment, stationery. And if you're standing still, it would be the A, as in anchored. So you're anchored to the spot, stationery. But because this is stationery with all our resources and equipment, it's the E. There we go. Bet you didn't know that we were going to be doing little tips like that today. Done. But we are back in the kitchen, and I'm hoping that the sweet potato is ready. It is. Oh, smell good. Into the drainer, please. Perfect. We've got the sweet potato. We are going to add the majority of the cheese, leaving just a little bit left to go over the top. We're also going to add a huge dollop of butter. So the recipe says that, where is my butter? The recipe says around 75 grams. But we've already put some in the fish pie, and I'm just going to put in a good dollop. The ingredient that we are trying today, the paprika, you don't need very much of it. So about 1/4 teaspoon. Put that in. Oh, it smells good. There we go. Let's mash this up. Ready to go on the top of the fish pie. I wish it was dinner time now. It isn't. I'm hoping to do an aqua class tonight, and I've bought myself some new ankle weights and wrist weights ready for, you know, trying to get strong. Although I started wearing the ankle ones last gym session, and my friend at the gym said, he looked at them and he said, I'm not sure if they're going to do much good, Cher. I'm not going to be very heavy. When you have a good consistency of the mashed up sweet potato, we can start forming the pie. So we get to use the new but old stoneware oven dish. I love this oven dish. And then we're going to layer this up with our fish roux and then the sweet potato mash on the top. It's as easy as pie. Is that a saying? As easy as pie? Well, this is really thickened nicely. I think that's a saying, isn't it? It's as easy as pie. Let me know if that's a saying. So, there's no easy way to do this, just do it. I think there may be enough for 2 smaller ones. Well, keep that prawn in there. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 smaller ones with those. I'll do that later on. Give this one more good mash. Put a little bit of pepper in there. So pepper is good to take away the sweetness. I did hear from GB. He did give me a quick phone call, which was nice. And I said to him, when you get home tonight, you've got fish pie. I think he's excited to get back later on. I'm hoping that the roads aren't too bad for all of the people that have gone back to work in offices after Christmas. Is your country prepared for snow? I know some of you have very snowy countries, so you probably are. Is your country prepared for snow? Do you get a lot of snow? I love learning about all of these things, so do let me know. We're just going to make sure that this mash is really ready. Oh, it does look so good. I'll show you how good it looks. Let's put some cheese on the top, and then this will go into the oven for around, well, I like it in the oven quite a long time, to be honest, but that just depends on you. I mean, obviously the fish is cooked, but I really like the top of the fish pie to I am absolutely salivating here. Ta-da! This is going to go into the oven, as I say, for around 50 minutes or so. I'm going to put this into the oven and I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you all again really soon. Let me know if you try this dish. I cannot wait for dinner. But I've got to do aqua first. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, it just smells so good. In that, cooked away nicely in there, and I've just got the kitchen to tidy away, and then I will cut up the salad, but I can definitely do that later.